Hi all, how are you? So I'm gonna make a white flour bread today. Last time I tried it with brown bread. Turned out so wonderful that I'm inspired to make it with brown bread again today. So here's what we will do is I'm going to mix some herbs. I have Kea's garlic powder, some mixed herbs, some pizza seasonings, okay? And this is my yeast. You can see how well it has risen. All I did was I took very lukewarm water. I dissolved sugar in it first, and then I put about 7 grams of yeast dry powder in it, and I left it for about say 20 odd minutes, and this is how it turns out. It has to be fluffy. That will just be make sure that your bread turns out fluffy. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this into my flour. Okay, there we go. The main ingredient, yeast. Okay, it ruins it if in case you take your water too hot and you mix yeast in it. It kills your yeast. Well, I've been bitten. Softened butter. Don't be too generous with it, thinking that your bread will turn out well. No, it doesn't. It avoids it getting fluffy. So just a little bit butter is fine, and I'll mix just about a small spoon salt. Okay, now time for my seasonings. Here we go with little pizza seasonings. Last time what I had made was with alsi, chili flakes and oregano. That also turned out pretty well. I didn't put garlic last time, that's why I'm trying to add it now. It was a total miss. Garlic would have just enhanced the taste of that bread. So ये सब आप अंदाज़न डाल लेंगे. ये मेरे पास में ब्रेड का कंटेनर है. आपके पास में अगर हो तो इसमें ब्रेड परफेक्ट बनती है. Now another important thing is while you're trying to knead this dough, I'm going to need water. Very little water. So now while we're going to knead this dough, be very sure that you don't really knead it too well. It's just enough for you to mix everything up together and slightly combine this dough. Okay, you can see it here. So all we're going to do is first mix all these ingredients that we added. Garlic is smelling so good. Alright. So I'm just going to combine them. So the purpose behind not kneading your bread dough is you won't get that fluff which yeast is going to create. We really have to pamper your bread to get that fluff. If it doesn't appear, the entire minute goes waste. It feels really sad, and such accidents has happened with us a lot of times. Well, my father has a bread making machine too, and he has tried many times with that. There are so many variety of breads that you can make these days. It's surprising. All the kamal is of yeast. Okay, so now I'm not sure if you can see. This is how your bread dough looks like. Okay, this is how we have just tried to combine little water with yeast, butter, and your herbs. Okay, and now let's mix water very little at a time. Just in case you want to have little sour texture in your dough, which tastes yummy after it's baked, you can add little curd. trying this video for the first time, by the way. Just hope it's a hit. If the bread turns out well, I'll be just happy. So we're just going to mix a little bit of water. My inspiration is Maria Goretti. I watch her video all day. So slowly you'll see that it's going to combine in. We're not going to mix it too much. Just make sure that it's combined well. Don't press it too hard either, just the way how we make roti dough. That's not needed. Very light-handed. Okay, there we go. So we managed to get them all together. You see that? It's been put up together. I'm not going to mix it. Now I'm just going to cover it. Let me show it to you. This is how the texture is. Okay. Not going to mix it too much. You will see there are some water which is more on one side and less on the other side. Well, that's okay, because this is not our final bread dough. We're going to leave it to rise for a half an hour. Okay, see how your yeast works, because you know what I've realized with experience is yeast comes in variety of consistency. So sometimes my bread is just super duper good within the next 20 minutes. Sometimes it's not, it takes 30 minutes. So we're just going to let it rest. So here's what I'm going to do is, I made this cloth wet. Okay, I'm going to cover it up so that it doesn't dry off, and we shall just leave it like this for next half an hour, 20 minutes. I'll keep checking just to make sure once it rises enough, and I'll tell you what next to do. Hey, welcome back. So now let's lift the curtain and check our dough. It has doubled in size. Okay, and it's all messy. It does seem like it's not been kneaded. This is how exactly you want it to look, not kneaded. Okay, just check this. The minute I will put my finger in it, see that? It goes down. So we're just going to give it a slight, just put some butter on my hand, just rub some butter. Okay. And we'll try to bring it together. I'm again not going to knead it while I'm going to put it in the baking tray. Okay, it's time that we start baking it. Just get the long side that you need for your bread. So this is the trick. You flatten it. I've given one layer already. You flatten it. Okay. Put it on top of the other. Okay. That's your trick. Okay, for fluffy bread, that's what you need to do. So I've done it maybe 3 times, I think. That's just enough. I'm just going to give it a little bit shake from outside. Okay, now oven goes at, well, my oven is old, so depending on your oven's heat, decide the temperature. I'm going to preheat it first for 10 minutes. It goes at 180 degree, 10 minutes. Okay, here I've got my grease paper. Now I'll just put a little butter at the bottom so that my bread doesn't stick. It's important to put this paper, I've realized at times, at least in my oven. My bread doesn't cook too well right at the bottom. On top it is nice and crusty, but at the bottom it's really soft mush, and it doesn't change its color either. So if you don't put this paper and you grease it, your bread doesn't come out well. So that's like a total disaster after you patiently waited so long for it to fluff and it doesn't come out of the tray properly. What a loss. Okay, so now I'm just going to rest my bread. Okay. Just pressing it lightly because I don't want my puff to go away, the one which we created. High quality yeast, no kneading, and give your bread a good rest. 3 main things that you need to know. That's how a bread can rise. Okay, I'm trying to just make it even so that my bread doesn't fluff from one side more. How much you have to pamper your cooking so that it turns out well? Have you realized that? If you don't, mehnat waste. Okay, so now that we are done, all you need to do now is bake it. While in my oven it will take me almost 25 minutes. Depends on your oven's heat. I'm going to put it at 250. Okay, and let's wait for the result. I'll see you. Bye. Hey, I'm back. I just forgot to give you this one important tip, is that once I settle this in this container, I'm going to again rest it for some more time. Okay, the bread has to rise again before it gets into the oven. That's again very important step. Sorry, I missed letting you know that. So let's wait until it comes up a little bit and then gets into the hot oven. Okay. Hey, just wanted to show you when we rested our dough inside. You'd seen I had literally flattened it. It was like almost at this level. Can you see how beautifully it's risen? This is exactly what we need to do. So I think this rest was another 20 odd minutes, 20-25 minutes. Okay, now it's ready to get into the oven. It's fluffed enough. You know why it's important that we fluff it? So that the bread has that texture. Okay, so I had to shut my oven because I can't leave it on for 20 minutes. I'm going to restart it. 10 minutes of preheat. Bread goes into it at 250 degrees for my oven, as I mentioned. Set those as per your oven's condition and how it heats it. And after 20-25 odd minutes, my bread will be done. Okay, once it's done, I'll get back to you. Hey, let's check our bread in the oven. I'm going to show you a glimpse. Garlic is smelling so great. Can you see that? It's hardened on top. So all we need to be sure is now if it has been cooked from inside. Okay, so you'll take one sharp knife. Okay, you know, I prefer to bring my tray out and test it and then put it back because this oven is so hot. in 20 minutes it can manage to burn my hand. I've been bitten, so I'm twice shy. I rest my phone here and I'll get it out. Check it from over side. If it doesn't stick to your knife, which means it's been cooked. Did you see the crust? Garlic is smelling so great. Just check the crust. Can you see it? So all the 4 sides, center, at the bottom 2 sides, we will check and see if it is done. Has to be done from all the sides. So the knife is clean, which means your bread is done. So it took me 20 minutes to get this bread, lovely bread done. Just take a look at it. I'm going to let it be in this for some time before I remove it. Let it cool off a little bit. Then you will just keep it on your tabletop and slice them. And your morning bread is absolutely ready. So you don't have to wait, stand in the queue these days, and especially in quarantine, when you're quarantined, and depend on others to get you bread. Well, you can make your own bread at home every morning. All it takes is 20 minutes of baking and nearly some hour, I think, for it to rise. Cool. I'll see you in some time. Hi all. So now it has cooled off completely. I'm going to bring my bread out. The tray is still wet. There's water in it because of steam, but we have to bring it out early then. Okay. Wow, I'm so happy. Okay, you see the loaf now? Okay, let's try our first one. I think it's still warm. Though I made it with white maida, but I think it's a good quality white maida. The bread has turned a little brownish. It's not really white, which we get in the market. So, but did you see the texture that it has? Okay, in those web kind of look that we needed on it. It has that. Take a closer look. Look from this side. Okay, in the light, just have to go straight. Okay, can you see? It's soft and gooey. So, excuse me. So this happens only when you let your dough proof enough. The right word is proof enough, and you don't knead your dough. Okay, ciao then. I'm going to make some lovely things out of this bread, and I'll put some pictures of it.